Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Ruthless Trading live trading video recap. This is capturing my trades from the day before, all live streamed to the members of the Ruthless Trading Discord community. In real time, we trade every day from about 9:15 to 11:30. What I mean by live, this is not a pre-recorded trading session where I come back and talk about the trade. This was the exact same trading commentary streamed to the members in the Discord community all in real time. All I've done is recorded the trading session as they played out and posted here to YouTube for your education and enjoyment. If you're interested in joining our trading community and learning more about how to trade, I'll post a link to the Discord below. Got some great members in the community. We've got a lot of experience within the community, including myself and some others that have been trading for, 10 plus years. We got some traders in there that have been trading, from 6 months to a year that are kind of just getting started in their journey, kind of soaking up information from some of the more experienced traders in there. And then, of course, we got brand new traders in there, never traded before, looking to jump in. They join the Discord. It's free to join. They ask a bunch of questions. Either myself or other experienced traders will go in there and help answer them. So enjoy the recap here and look forward to seeing you into the community. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is April 11th, 9:47 here in the market. Market continuing to push to the downside here. We are trending below the VWAP here. Would like to see this also get below the 200. We could see this fall all the way back down toward that 512 area, even potentially lower here. Started this short on NVIDIA as well. We can kind of go over that. You can either short the shares or go on the option side. The option side is pretty expensive. So looking for this to push back up toward the VWAP one more time here. Kind of test it on the SPY. We are getting a VWAP bounce on the ES, but I want to see the SPY get retested here.
Filled.
Starting to get filled here on the short. Again, we can make good profit here if we can bust below this 200 moving average. Nice little upper shadow toward that VWAP area, getting the pullback here. Like I said, I'd like to see this go. I'd like to see it go below the 200 moving average. Just trying to hold the VWAP here on the ES.
Filled.
So up about 200 bucks here. Want to see this pullback come in. I don't want to see this continuing to make lower highs here. If so, we may get out just because a reversal could come in. I am kind of looking for this nice red candle to come in here, bust below that VWAP here. But if we continue to hold the VWAP on the ES, we may get out. Let's see if we can get this nice red candle in here.
The field.
All right, just in the 200 here. This is where we got to be careful. So we are seeing some nice price action. Let's see. Nice pullback here. Let's get it all the way down. Gotta hold below this VWAP here. VWAP is going to be stop loss now at this point on the SPY chart. All right, we may have to get out of this just because we're starting to curl here. Again, I want to give it a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, this is where we're going to have to get out because it looks like it wants to run here. Put a stop loss up here just in case we get a big upper shadow. Let's see if we don't get a nice pullback into here. There we go. Nice little pullback here. Let's see if we can get this to continue to fall. There we go.
The field.
2 contracts left here. Readjust stop losses here. Make sure we take profit off this. Trying to be patient on this because I really, like I said, if we break through this VWAP and 200 moving average, this is going to have a nice pullback here. Again, I don't want to be in this position just to see it do what I expect and then close this position a little bit too early. So giving this a lot of wiggle room here. Just a lot of choppy back and forth here. Maybe giving this too much wiggle room. But it has held this VWAP on the ES chart beautifully. So this is going to want to go higher here. What a pullback here. Maybe looking to take this to the long side here. If this holds the VWAP on the SPY. Here we begin, a lot of chop. Coming all the way back down. Top ticking me on my stop loss is crazy. I'm gonna go in here, start my shorts. So I still think I think we are gonna go below this VWAP in 200, especially with that nice upper shadow. I want to scale my way into this. So again, we've really been kind of chopping sideways off this VWAP area, but this VWAP is held 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Eventually it's going to start becoming weak when it does come back down there to retest. That's when we potentially could see that crack of the VWAP on the ES and then see this all the way back down to the 200 moving average.
The fill. The fill.
Let's see if we see the strong pullback here all the way back down to the... Got a decent amount of contracts here. Let's see. Starting to get filled here. I want to see this go lower. Like I said, I want to see all this all the way back down to this 200 moving average. A lot of volatility here. There we go. Nice pullback here, up about 512 bucks. I want to see this continue to go lower, try to maximize this profit. Do not want this to hold this VWAP once again. Let's see if we finally get the VWAP crack here. There we go. Let's continue to see this go down here. There we go. Nice trade. Nice trade. That's what we wanted. Woo! He did that one. 5 contracts on the short side worked out beautifully. This may continue to go lower here. If we get a quick little pump back up to this VWAP area, we can look to re-add to the short as long as everything aligns. There we go, up 737 here on the day. Probably could have profited more, but being safe here. That was about a $1,000 trade. Like I said, I did get chopped out here, which is crazy on this top tick, which was my stop loss, but you got to respect it. So it's down 300 bucks here. So I made about 1,000 back here shorting this. But my theory was that we had held this VWAP so many times. Typically, you don't see that many bounces off of it. And eventually, when it would go, you would start to see this crack here. And that's what we're kind of seeing. But this was a little bit of choppy, so you did have to have some wiggle room in this play. I had a pretty nice wiggle room here. I mean, that was, like I said, that stop loss was pretty high, but it's kind of, that one, really, shoulda, coulda, woulda. We should be up more on the day, but to get top ticked on a stop loss is, that's pretty tough right there. But again, you got to manage your risk. Again, we can look to short here if this rallies back up. We are definitely on the short side here, starting to fall apart. I am in the NVIDIA short there. I did decide to do options on that one. You can see in the short-term trade alerts that trade was put out. They are pretty expensive. If you'd rather just short the shares, that would be the cheaper option. But I think, NVIDIA will see a nice little play on that one. Looking for about 20% profit target on that one. Unless it really starts to nosedive, then, we can kind of evaluate it from there. But NVIDIA kind of doing what I expected to do. Like I said, the 9 is crossed below the 20 here. Getting a little bit of that rally, like retest here, then I expect this to start to downtrend. Yes, 4s here. Again, I'll be looking to the short side on this one. Like if it has this big rally back up toward the VWAP area. Again, nice little trade. All we wanted to see again was that VWAP to finally kind of give way, and we did. We saw the nice little short off of it. Kind of waited for that VWAP bounce, shorted, built our position on the way up, and then I got that nice little pullback here. Again, sold a little bit early, but I am good with that. Let's see if we get a quick little upper shadow here. Oof, close. Did test that 9 moving average before getting the pullback. I want to see a little bit higher here, just because it does have room to move back up with the RSI kind of being in the 40s here. But currently up 737 on the day here. 10:04, not bad for 15 minutes of trading so far. Again, kind of crazy we got top ticked on that one. As far as hitting the stop loss there, like I said, we were down about 350 start the day off, so very, very nice trade to get us back in the green here. Again, still looking to the short side, looking for a quick little rally back up, like some quick upper shadows into this resistance here. Right now we're kind of consolidating sideways here. Maybe not. Looks like it's about to get weaker. 10:07 here in the market. And looking for the ES to have a quick little pop back up if we can get it, or this looks like it's going to continue a downtrend here. But if we can get a little pop toward those key areas of resistance, get those shorts built in, make some money here. Woo! Market continued on lower. Nice little trend day so far after that area of consolidation. So it did come down to that 513 area we talked about here pre-market. You may see the bounce off that 513 area. It's very light support at 513, but it did kind of come down there and lower wicket. But again, we're looking for this to bounce back up, like some of the short sellers to get out, take their profit. See that quick little spike back up in all this resistance area. Try to build the short position and then see it continue to downtrend after that. So just going to be patient here, up 737 on the day. And we really should be up more if I wouldn't have got top wicked on that stop loss. That's always the worst, when you put your stop right there and it comes up there and wicks you on an upper shadow and then, comes right back down. That's painful. That's painful, but you got to respect the stop. Again, always hindsight 2020. This could have, rallied off that area and then, had that reversal and go higher on us. But nice little downtrend ever since we broke that VWAP area on the ES and that 200 moving average. Again, that was the thesis kind of building up that short position in here. Was to grab the shorts, see it come down, see it finally break the 200 moving average as well as the VWAP as well as the 200 moving average, and we would see this sell-off come in. As we did see earlier in the trading day, that nice little VWAP or 200 moving average bounce kind of broke through the 200 moving average, bounced off the VWAP, and we had that nice little rally up, then kind of the consolidation before the next leg down here. But all we're going to do is we're kind of getting weak here, 32 on the RSI. We do want to see this pop back up into these key resistance areas, try to build up a short position, see if we can't continue to downtrend here. And again, we're looking for a quick move back up. We're not looking for this to slowly creep its way on up here. Like I said, we like the quick volatility plays. So 10 here in the trading day. Currently up 737 here on the day. Looking for the nice little rally here. It's been a solid week here so far. I did trade yesterday, but there was no opportunities past couple days here. Or not yesterday. Didn't trade yesterday, but the day before I did trade. There was no opportunities. And then Monday we had that was about 7. I think it was like 691 was profit on Monday. Market continues to get ugly. Again, a couple things. The Fed notes were released yesterday. Inflation's kind of stagnant. Still, it's above the goal of where the committee wants to see it before they start to lower interest rates. But right now, inflation kind of being sticky, kind of hanging around pretty high here. Now, the real estate market, which doesn't really affect the overall market, but it does have a little bit of play into it. The real estate market's super stagnant. I mean,
Problem is, like I said, the feds kind of did that to themselves. They kind of put a poison pill in the real estate market. A lot of us that owned homes prior to the pandemic. Um, I mean, really, any time from 2009, if you bought a house from 2009 till, I mean, to where we're at today, your interest rates are so low. Like I bought my first house in 2015. Even then I had a 4% interest rate on that home. And then fast forward to the pandemic, was able to refinance, my personal homes and the rental homes, all the way down. I think the lowest rate that I did get on my personal home is 2.65%, and then all my rentals, just because they're commercial loans, those are 4%, which that is super low for commercial real estate loans. So they kind of put that poison pill in the real estate market, because there is no way, one, I'll sell my personal home when I've got a rate the way that I do, and the purchase price of what I got the home for. I couldn't rent an apartment for what I pay for a mortgage. And of course, a lot of people are in that same situation. So you're not seeing any inventory in the market, especially at these higher interest rates and for what the purchase prices are, because it just doesn't make sense for a lot of people, especially in a higher inflation environment. So I think we'll see real estate continue to stay very stagnant. Now, what'll be interesting is if real estate if interest rates get to that 5.5%, will we see an explosion of people putting their homes on the market and looking to upgrade into different homes? Because at 5%, it may make sense depending on what real estate prices do. It's all supply and demand, right? If we see a flood of houses back on the market after an area of homes not being up for sale, does that cause the supply to really kind of open up, and you start to see a lot more real estate transactions again, because that will cause a little bit of inflation there as well. But yeah, one thing in the home report that I read that came out on Wednesday, frightening numbers as far as just homes not moving, staying on the market. But I mean, it makes sense. The federal government did that to themselves. I think it was something like 40% or 50% of the homes that are out there have mortgages less than 4% on them. And there's a lot of real estate that's paid for, clear and free. Wow, market continuing to go lower here again. Wow, nice pullback. Man, I wish I still had those 5 contracts on the short side. Look at this. Next target's going to be that 512 area, man. Market's really getting late. The video better follow suit here. Like I said, I did start, and let's talk about that real quick, because I don't see this trade coming back around for us for a while here. We know what we're looking for. Try to zoom in on the video here. The daily chart's a little tough to see, but we did have the 9 cross over the 20 here. We are seeing the daily average volume if you look that up on StockTwits. I'll get you the website here in a minute. I forget what it's called. I've got it saved here on my desk or on my browser. But what we've seen is that crossover here, that big pullback, and then you'll see that rally come back and retest it. And I'm kind of seeing that upper shadow. You see it here on this daily chart. You also see it on my daily chart here on the on this chart here as well. You're seeing that little upper shadow here get retested and get rejected. What I'm looking for this is to stay below that 9. I mean, almost the same that we trade on a 1 minute time frame. This is just a little bit longer of a time frame here. We got that upper shadow, and I'm looking for this as the market continues to pull back down, because the market's doing the same thing right now. We're looking for this to really start to push its way down. I mean, really, we're looking, we'll keep a monitor and eye on the options, because the IV was a little bit high on it. we're really looking for this to get it into that 20 to 30% of profit. If it really accelerates to the downside, we start to get below 800, we can take a look at those options as well. But if we do have those quick pullbacks, you'll see the IV go even higher, which will really help our contracts out. Like, again, I think, like I said, I like Nvidia, like from a actual stock standpoint of and what they're doing. They're significantly overvalued for what they have into play. Like I said, it is, like I said, it's a good business model. Where it reminds me of what this AI kind of tech boom that we've seen that have really pushed the stock market, real specifically the SPY really high here, is the AI machine learning models that the big tech companies are kind of coming out with. And it's very early in the stages. Like everybody's like all worried about AI. Like, I don't think we'll see the effects of this for 10 more years. But it will come into play. We're just super early, right? So just kind of like the tech bubble back in, whatever that was, the early 2000s. We all knew the internet would be something, but we were about 10 to 15 years too early on that, when the market really rallied off of it. And same thing with generative AI machine learning models. We are, again, it is going to be a player in the future, but we are very, very early, and NVIDIA in no way should have a market cap above Amazon's. Because if you think so, Amazon's also building their own chips, and a lot of people don't talk about it, but Annapurna Labs, like out of San Fran area, the Bay Area, where they've got those offices, I mean, they are hiring PhD level candidates because it's such a new field, because they also do software and hardware. Typically if you're a software developer, no matter if you work the front end technologies or back end technologies, you're not developing the hardware, right? You get the hardware from somebody and you hard code it. These candidates, what they're doing is they have low level coding skills, so they're not, in the coding field as hard as, your software developers and your front end engineers and UI and UX designers, things like that. They have lower level coding skills like C++, but they understand coding, so they can build the chips. Where their specialty lies is building the hardware for it. So they're hiring candidates aggressively, and Amazon's one of the biggest chip users, just with all the data centers that they have around. And when they build their own chips and get off NVIDIA's, and they have their own chips, their own data centers, their own cloud, and they control all the data, watch out. And that's where NVIDIA doesn't have the advantage. And NVIDIA right now is about, probably, whatever you want to say, 5-10 years ahead as far as chip development technology, just because that is their core business platform. But don't think other companies won't catch up. It's not, I don't want to say it's easy to duplicate the chips, but it's not as difficult. It just takes a lot of capital to build that out, which Amazon has. And it's not just Amazon. There could be, I haven't seen anything in Meta's report, or Google's or Microsoft, but they could be keeping that under wraps. They could also be doing the same thing. I just haven't heard about it. I know, Andy Jassy's letter to the shareholder got released this morning, and I was reading through it. Just because Amazon's one of my largest holdings as far as individual stocks. So it plays a big part of my portfolio. So I do keep up with that company a lot more than I do other companies out there, but I do look at the competitor side of the house. But like I said, NVIDIA in nowhere, shape, or form should be this high. Again, I think Amazon will take a lot of people by surprise when they come out with their own chips, and they're going to force people to use them, because most of your large companies all use AWS cloud services. So don't think they won't start selling those chips out there, and they control even more data. So man, what a drop in the market here. Almost sad knowing that we took profits early. You talk about holding 5 contracts to the short side, through this type of move. Whew. But up there testing the 200 moving average, getting rejected again. Again, I would be looking for this to have a quick run up all the way toward the 200 VWAP area. That's where I would feel comfortable taking, some shorts here. But it is bouncing off that 512 area. So we do have to be careful in case it tries to reverse here off this. And up 737 here on the day. Yep, 737. So starting to get a little reversal off that 512. Again, we want to see that like quick push up here to this, up to these targets to short. If we can get it, we can continue to make some money here. Also look to short here off the 20 moving average. It's potentially where the RSI is at. There's not a lot of room for this to continue to fall, especially after we did talk about that 512 area. $10.25 here in the market. So did get rejected here off the 20 moving average. Very curious to see if this bounces off this 512 area again, which is 551.82 here on the ES chart. So let's see. Let's see if we get that quick push up toward that 200 VWAP again. Get that quick rejection. We can make some money here. big pullback after that quick push up. Of course, didn't quite come to our targets, but man, what a red engulfing candle that was after that nice little green push here. It almost makes me want to take this short here as it's getting rejected again off this 20 moving average, but again, want to be safe here, protect the profits on the day. Look for the A quality setups, would be a quick push up here toward the VWAP 200 moving average. May take a while here to develop. It's only 10:33. We got some time here in the market. Kind of let this play develop itself out. We are starting to get a little bit of an uptrend, a little bit of reversal as we're making higher lows here. So we do want to pay attention to that. But what we want to see again, we don't want to see this slowly creep up there. We want to see kind of like what we saw here, just a nicer push, little quick push to the upside. Get a little overextended and then be able to catch that short. So basically this candle, but again, that fills this on the short, then we see that red engulfing candle come right behind it. If we get it, great. If not, I mean, we're still going to end the day here 737. I'm good with that. So 10:34 here in the market. Well, let's see if we can get the quick push here. you got to be careful. We are starting to see again this start to curl here, start to get more bullish. But again, I'm looking for the quick pop into some resistance areas. Again, if it's kind of slow like this and kind of grinds itself up there, again, we'll cancel those and not be able to take the trade. But we'll see if we can get anything here on the day. Again, we're up 737 here on the morning. If we don't get another trade, I'm fine with that. But would like to add to these profits. See if we can't get pushed over that 1,000 mark. Let's see. We may get it. Quick little push. Let's see. Continue to push up here. Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. Give us what we want. So close. Looking for the quick push here. Can we get what we want? See, this is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see it's like have a pullback here, slowly creep up there, because if it does that, we'll have to get out. So it's starting to kind of turn off that 512 area that we talked about this morning. Again, that was the target to the short side. We did run in right into that 512 area. Now we are starting to make those lower highs here, starting to go on that uptrend. Now it's crossing over the 20. We are still underneath the VWAP and that 200 moving average, but we are starting to get kind of that pushback up here. Again, I want to see this quick push. If we don't get it, I'll cancel these orders. $10.42 here in the market. Let's see. Let's see that lower shadow bounce here off the non-moving average. Let's see if that doesn't push this higher. Again, I don't like how we have light volume kind of sitting here. I want to see that quick move. And again, if we don't get it, we'll get out. Well, at least we'll cancel the orders that would fill us. And then we'll probably be done on the day at that point unless we see something crazy happen, which with this type of light volume in action, I don't expect it to. So luckily we were able to catch kind of the thesis here of the morning was to go short in this area here and then wait for that VWAP and 200 average break, which we did. And we sold at some pretty good, areas here, but to see that like continue lower here that we saw all day, knowing that, we took profits early, sometimes that one hurts a little bit. But I mean, you can't complain. You can't go broke taking profits. But definitely could have let that rain a little bit more here. But again, very unexpected to see the market, push like that. So getting a little push here. This is the candle that it's got to do it for us. If we don't get it on this candle, I'm going to cancel these orders. I want to see the big push here on this candle. Because we are going to go a little bit against a trend as we are kind of looking bullish here as far as the 9 being above the 20. The big key thing, though, is we are below the 200 and below the VWAP. So again, those are the areas that I want to short. Let's see if we get that quick push here. Again, this has to be the candle that gets it for us. If not, we'll call it a day here if we don't get filled on this candle. We get about 20 seconds left on this candle. So it's kind of doing a little bit what I don't want it to do, that slow creep. Sometimes those slow creeps end up seeing these type of plays here get an incredible type of action toward the upside, and it could put us in a bad spot. But let's see here if we get it here, starting to get filled off that 200 moving average. So looking for that quick little pullback here. Let's see if we just don't come all the way back down toward that non-moving average here and be able to just take some quick profits. Or if we get another green candle here, kind of up to that VWAP area. Go. Maybe we had a quick 7,500 bucks here. Let's see if we could see this continue to drop back toward that non-moving average here. Let's see, we need one more tick. I may just take it off here. Let's see what it does. Man, came right down to my fill area. No fill there, of course. $10.48 here in the market. I'm going to take this off here.
The fill.
Reason is we're coming close to 11. We have that Fed's call-in speech coming out. And we are kind of consolidating underneath this VWAP. I don't trust the move at this point. We'll make it quick. What was that, 50 bucks? 50 bucks is 50 bucks. Add a little bit here on the day. Gets us up to 784.60 after commissions. Like I said, it's 10:49 here. Fed call-in speech comes out at 11. I don't really want to hold that into that speech in case that causes any type of crazy volatility. Typically it doesn't, but you never know. And the risk versus reward just kind of wasn't getting there with that trade. Like I said, this area of consolidation underneath that 200 moving average in VWAP, little area of concern, just because we are fighting the trend just a little bit as far as we are turning bullish here. Nine's above the 20. We were below that VWAP and 200 area, but this area of consolidation, if it holds, that can lead to those big crazy spikes, especially if some type of news event comes out during that Fed's call-in speech, which, like I said, typically it doesn't, but again, no reason to put ourselves, if we would have got the quick push quickly, that would have been that A quality setup, but this was kind of slowly turning into B, C, D type of setup here. No reason to risk that. So that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to walk away 784.60 after commissions here. I'm good with that one. Like I said, could have been, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Should have been a lot. Could have been a lot more. I did get top ticked on a stop order right there, which is tough. Right, like I started the day down 300 bucks. The thesis was right, but again, you do have to respect, your stop losses. Just it is tough seeing it get, top ticked right here. But it is what it is. We waited for the setup to come back. We shorted on this nice little green candle and then finally got that break of that VWAP 200 that we talked about this morning. That kind of led to that big downtrend here. Of course, we didn't capture all this profit on the short side, but we did, capture that nice little profit here. So walking away 784.60 here on the day. We'll see what tomorrow has in store. Not too bad here. Again, Monday we made 691. Tuesday, no trades. The setups weren't there. Yesterday ended up not trading, had something pop up in the morning, and then today walking away with 784.60. So for really 2 days of trading, 1,500 bucks here. We'll see if we can't have a nice little day on Friday to kind of round out the week here. But that is going to be it for me. You guys have a good one. Hopefully you made some money. Hopefully you were smarter and held this short a little bit longer than I did, because that could have been a nice little payday there for you guys. But that's it for me. I do have this recorded. Let me make sure I fix the audio issues. I didn't know the last couple streams that we had no audio on the YouTube uploads there, just because, like I said, Streamlabs updated and I didn't realize I didn't have the mic activated on the recording. So that'll be fixed. That'll be uploaded. Hopefully you guys can learn a little bit here, especially for the ones that missed the trading day here. But that's it for me. You guys have a good one. See you back tomorrow right around the same time, 9:35, 9:40, and we'll get started trading right around 9:45 Eastern time. That's it. Peace.